There we go. Hey guys. Yeah, so I've done obviously a tiny bit of work off stream, literally 20 minutes ago started. Blocked out the suite that we're going to use in the background. I feel like I'm kind of distracting myself from the stuff I need to do, so I'm going to use this block out, very quickly do the wrapper, well, as quick as I can in Marvelous Designer, and then I'm going to start figuring out the body and the pose of the monster, because I want to start kind of, not grooming yet, because it's still a lot to figure out before that, but I do want to get to a point where the final image is starting to be built, where we can, get a rig on the character and pose everything up and figure out where everything's going. So before I do that, I want to make sure I've got the monster in a pose that I'm happy with, because this, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me yet. I feel like I need to figure something out with it. It just lacks gesture. So yeah, I'll probably go through and like paint a few ideas. Like literally just like sketch, paint, not actually paint. But yeah, so we got a suite, and I've already exported it into Marvelous just to save a bit of time. No idea if this will work. If it doesn't, I'll just polymodel the wrapper. But yeah, I guess we'll just get started on it. So I'm going to create a rectangle. Rectangle will be about that big. Cool. And then let's just get that in place. It needs to be a bit wider. Oh, not that though. And I think in terms of the length, that's about right. Let's just sim that. That's stupid quick. I also need to set it to the different fabric. So let's just go in, set this to fabric shiny to begin with. And let's get a preset on there. For now, let's go default simulation just to get everything kind of sewn and in place. Obviously, it's going to be kind of interesting to get this in a state where it's actually working. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. I think what I'm going to have to do is, well, see if this will reach first. I think it will. I think I might need to make it a little bit taller. Maybe not that tall. So for now, what I'm going to do is this. Yeah, so it is a little bit too short. So it will need to be tighter than that. This is going to be a back and forth thing, I can tell already. And I'm going to need this to be considerably shorter, but not on that side. I think I want to turn gravity off. I'm just wondering how I'd do that. Let's create a new material. Call this one wrapper. And let's just give this a goldish. That will do. I want to make it a little bit, well, I guess we could go with metal. Yeah, it gives a better idea. Right, so how do I turn gravity off? Well, we need to undo that stitch, don't we? So let's set this to delete. Cool. And then I think if we set this to be a negative pressure, that would be a little bit more helpful. So it'll like want to cling to the object now. It does make it quite prone to doing this sort of shit though. So how do I turn off this guy? Hey Ian, how you doing, man? How do I edit the global properties? Display, window. So what I need is 0 gravity just so this will actually float. I also need to turn that to a way looser setting. Let's just give this a Google. Dark Droidy. I'm really awful with names. Welcome to the stream. I think that's the first time I've seen your name. Let me just quickly Google designer gravity. How do I turn off gravity? Simulation properties.
Begin.
Nope. So it's in the scene, in the object browser? Scene isn't an option for me. Oh, there it is. Simulation property. Where's gravity? There it is. So it's in the thousands, okay, so I just need to remember minus 9,800. Should probably turn that negative pressure off. Oh. This is going to be a lot more difficult than I thought. Let's set that to -1. So it's super sensitive, I guess. Okay, I think for now I should sew this, just until I got it blocked. Right, so we need to figure out how to do that twist, don't we? So I guess the best way is to make a piece of fabric that we can kind of freeze and pin and all that stuff. So let's just do that. It doesn't have to be perfect. Cool. Then let's grab these. Cool. So let's create a pin. See if I can remember how to do that. I swear, like every time I open this, I forget how to use it.
Is that P?
Maybe it is. No, apparently not. Edit line tack. Edit tack. Where's pin? Wait, do I have to right click on it? Maybe something like that, wasn't it? I guess I could freeze these. Because that would be admitting defeat. Although I did just Google other stuff. Let's see if this will work first.
It's really funny to see like the ZBrush thing whenever it launches. There's so many people I have on Facebook their faces are a bit long.
Oh really?
Yeah. There's just so many.
Yeah. It's really cool to see when like people you're friends with get like really cool stuff going on in their lives. How do I create a pin? Pin. I just want to create a pin. Okay, back to Google. designer. So apparently it's moved because this guy just has a button up here that immediately does everything. Unless it's that. No, that's tacking two pieces together, that's not pinning it. Oh, I've done this before, that's the annoying thing. I could solidify it, but no, get off. Oh, no, it needs to be a pin. Fuck.
Why? So,
Great pin. Where are you? Main menu. Pin lasso. Pin. There we go. Pin box. So how do we actually? Is there a shortcut for that? There's no shortcut for it. So now I can just do this, right? Hey, it works. Now I've got to hope that this doesn't break the sim like that, exactly like that. Okay, alright, I need to find out how to solve that. Because that was an issue with the tie as well. Oh, sorry?
I don't know what's going on with ZBrush.
Do you want me to have a look?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? What? Oh, that's just because you don't have a colour fill.
Is that color still?
Fill colour? Colour fill object? That's right. Right, so how do we stop it passing through itself? Do I just have to crank the simulation settings? Actually, going to a lower count has helped. So let's try going even lower. Let's go to like 5. This is where the fun starts. Because now's where it gets slow. Oh, it's undoing itself. There has to be a way to fix this. Office designer, prevent fabric passing through itself. So preset. Let's go with complete, but then set this to 0. It's much slower now, which is a good sign, I guess, in this case. Oh no, passing through itself again. Why? Okay, let's set that to GPU. So you add 0. Ground, I'm going to turn off the ground. I feel like it gets in the way most of the time. See what's out there. Check this. Oh, maybe the thickness needs to go up. Let's go like 10. Oh wait, no, that isn't what it is. Down to 2.5 again. I was just looking at frozen mesh. Literally passes straight through itself with no issue. Oh, come on. There has to be a way to stop that. It could literally just be that my collision distance needs to be cranked like crazy low. Not collision distance, sorry, the particle distance. Let's try changing to a different fabric. If this doesn't work, as I said, I'll just let go and do something else, like manually model it or something. But I'd rather, you know, do this instead. So I'm gonna need something that is like, I could even submit in Maya, but defeats the point of having bought this. What's gonna be the best? Well, I guess we can turn off stretch because it's plastic. Turn off shear. Hello. Why is it passing through itself again? There is a way to get it to repel itself based on normals, right? Like only collide in one thing. Don't like how that's drooping as well. Don't want leather. Polyester is going to be the closest, right? on. There has to be a way. Is it in simulation properties? This is gonna be like the most boring of all the streams I've ever done. GPU simulations off, but that's what I want. Non-linear maybe? Does that help? That doesn't really help. Collision, yeah, that's fine. Although let's turn it off for now. Void and stiffness. Let's try putting that up. So 0, 0, 1. That's doing something. I don't like what it's doing, but it's doing something. Okay, let's try an extra 0. If it'll let me type it. It's not letting me type it. Hey, yeah, it's a candy. Doing a Werther's original. Just trying to figure out why the fuck I can't get the simulation to like not pass through itself. There has to be a way to like repel it based on its own normals. So you got simulation layers, but that's not the way to do this. There's no way that's the way to do this. It wouldn't be density, would it? No, density is weight. It's just like slowly tearing itself apart, and I don't know why. Come on. So set you back to polyester. I guess even if I just get one twist out of it. I guess just for safety, let's put it to complete, which is the kind of most atrocious of all the sim methods. And then all we need to do is just set gravity 0 stuff. Number of simulation. What does that mean? Is that simulation quality? Or how many times per frame it simulates? It's already breaking back there and I'm doing nothing. I might test it in Maya instead. Come on. Stop. There we go, please. Right, so what I'm gonna do is hide everything that isn't this guy. Gonna duplicate this guy and hide the original just so I can smooth this and not have to worry about history and that sort of stuff. Let's go into make a plane. So now let's put a smooth on this guy. Go to Effects, Encloth, Passive Collider, Encloth, create Encloth. And then let's create another plane. I guess technically we should do this like more over here, right? No, we shouldn't. That's a terrible idea. Cool. So let's create a and constraint. Which one is it? The component. Turn that down. Point to surface. Cool. And then do the same on this side. And constraint, point to surface. And set this to play every frame. Oh yeah, that's good. Set this to like 2000, just so I've got plenty of time. And I need interactive playback. It's got to remember how to do that. I think it's in the end solver, right? Where's the end solver? There it is. Sweet enclave. Attribute editor. No? Alright, let's quickly just start a sim on that. No, it's got to be in there somewhere. Alright, so let me search interactive playback. Maya enclave interactive. Solvers interactive playback. Yeah, but is it not in preferences? In the dynamics menu. Okay. Solvers. Interactive playback. Cool. So. So how am I going to get this to grip? So let's stop that. Wait, what happens if I go over? Okay, so it'll restart every time. It's completely balked it. Right, so we're going to need to fold you. So let's create a bend deformer. Alright, I need to do that first. Fuck's sake, alright, undo all this. Cool. So, well, I'll keep that. Although I guess for now we don't actually. Alright, it's already smoothed. Alright, cool. So let's just create a bend deformer. Modeling, deform. Where you at? Non-linear bend. Cool. Then curvature to like that, and then just rotate it. And then all we need to do now is just put this down here, put this down here as well, add that smooth. Cool. So I need to put the cloth on it first. Effects, end cloth, create end cloth. It's in end constraint component. Nope. End constraint, point to surface. And constraint, point to surface. Cool, now let's hit play. Is that not a passive collider anymore? And cloth, passive collider. So let's just see if this will work. Did it turn off fucking Untitled to play back again? Where is it? I'm going to need to model this, aren't I? What happens if I just do this? I just pass straight through it. Now is a great moment to profess I fucking hate simulation. Right, okay, so let's just... Come on. Cool. I just really want to know how I can stop it from passing through itself. That's literally all I need for this to work. Let's just search Marvelous Designer Self-Intersection. It's weird how searching Marvelous Designer Self-Intersection doesn't really give any results. Such GPU. No, GPU is worse. Let's just search Sweet Wrapper. Yeah, I thought there wouldn't be any results. Okay, should we just move on to figuring out the body? Just give this another go. What I find really weird though is that I've already got simulation quality like cranked up to max, so really in my mind this shouldn't be an issue right now. Like Marvelous Designer is literally built for cloth simulation, so why is it struggling with this? Also, why is that constant grabbing hem? Did I keep grabbing the wrong one? Come on. Let's just need half a twist more. Oh, it's starting to go. So annoying. Alright, let's ignore that. This should not be an issue when you're paying 500 quid for a cloth simulation software. Right, so let's ignore it for now. So no, it's not designed to do sweet wrappers, but at the same time it should be able to handle something like that, right? And let's just make this guy visible, put him in the background somewhere. This one we can delete, and then that one we'll just keep as if we need it for later. So, panels, render cam. Well, I guess it makes more sense for it to be like over there, right? Yeah, that makes more sense. I need to figure out what's going to go over here though, because there's so much that needs to fill this scene. I'm also debating making the table like bigger and made of planks, rather than doing this like thin table thing. But yeah, because currently it's on like a mini like writer's desk, but it might be worth doing as like a dining table type thing. It'll be more interesting. Anyway, let's figure out this, because that's the most important thing. Because I do need to kind of get on with the actual, you know, monster part of this project. So let's, I need to get my Wacom out. I might post on the Marvelous Designer forum after this stream. Be like, yo, what the fuck? Right, so let's just go to like this angle for now. And well, I guess actually a better way would be to do it live, right? So do I still have the curve that I used to make this monster? I guess I don't. I mean, I could always just extract one, so let's just do that. Modify, convert, polygon edges to curve, and then delete the history on it, hide the monster. I guess I need to rebuild this. Modeling, mesh, what I'm looking for right now, curves, rebuild, and let's go with, let's go with 16. Cool. So now I've got that. Let's go to generate, curve utilities, attach brush stroke to curve, and set you to be much thicker. Cool. Now I just need that curve back. So what I'm going to do is make this guy, well, convert this guy to polygons. Modify, convert to paint effects to polygons. Cool. And then grab you. So let's go into the selection, turn off, which one's curves? Is that one, right? Yeah. So I can't select anything now other than those curves, which is helpful in this case. And then let's set this to X-ray. X-ray doesn't work with dome lights, I forgot about that. Cool, so let's just try giving this more of a gesture. Need to deselect that guy as well. Or hide him even. It's just this turn feels too sudden. And I know it was in the ref, but I don't necessarily need to match the ref 1-to-1. So let's do a quick get the reference up. Yeah, because the problem is that like the body gets thicker towards the end, so it's really hard to tell kind of what's going back in space and what's going forward in space. I think I'm trying to make it too 3D, like maybe it actually has just to be a flat shape. So let's try that. Let's try just scaling all of this apart from the head towards the center. And that kind of works better. This is definitely too pronounced though. I did at one point have a camera set up. Obviously I need to make the bottom of the body a lot thinner, but head's too low, isn't it? But I did do that intentionally, so it felt like it's a bit too high. It doesn't look like he's actually staring at him. I like the general idea, but I'm definitely going to overboard on that. So let's pull that way back. Maybe it's more like that kind of thing. That just looks too square now. Pull that back a little bit. Okay, here's a question. Can you rebuild a curve once you're already like doing stuff with it? So if I go into curves and rebuild this guy and set this to like 12. Oh, it does work. Okay, Maya, I'm impressed. Well done. So I think to get this kink, it could be like a sudden change in direction. That looks more interesting. And this could go a bit further back, and that allows for more of a shallow angle. That looks a bit more interesting. So let's go shading, turn off X-ray. Shading, X-ray. Right, so is there a way to control the thickness along the stroke? I imagine there would be. So let's go into stroke and there has to be a thickness mesh output. Brush profile. That's interesting. I mean, it's not what I want in the slightest, but it's interesting. Twist, no, I don't want that. There has to be a way to drive this by length, right? Like, could I attach a ramp to this? Let's try. Windows, node editor. So I'll move this off screen. Make life a little bit easier for myself. Do this. This is our default brush. That's our stroke shape. Which one's it gonna be? It's default brush. Is it thicknesses listed as? Brush width. Oh, is that gonna be at the top as brush, or is it gonna be? There it is. So let's create a ramp. I have no idea if this will work. I really hope it does. No. Does it only take? It only takes the first input. Is there an attribute I can take from something else? So I've got curve shape. There's probably a way to sample along the length of this thing and use that as UVs, but I don't know what that would be. Show all attributes. It's not any of those. I don't think it's degree. Is it like a distance one? Depth, no. I don't see anything. Alright. We'll leave that. Shame it doesn't work, but oh well. Break connection. I can always just use the inflate tool, but still. Wait a second. If I now grab the result of that, add a edit, because this will have UVs, right? It does. They're massive though. Let's just lay that out. Cool. So then if we create a edit mesh, transform vertex. Now let's go into the, let's set all these to be polymove vertex, local translate Z, right? Oh. Do you not read UVs as well? So disappointing. Oh. God damn it, man. Thought I was onto something there. This probably is a way to do this, I just don't know it. Okay, well, are we happy with this shape? That's what I need to figure out, because then I can just manually do everything else that I need. What do you guys think in terms of shape? Is it worth changing, or do you think this could look decent? Maybe I need to pull that back a little bit. Have it do like a big spiral kind of thing. There has to be a taper control in here somewhere. Oh, she worked fellow. Oh wait, that's just using, okay, so it's not actually driving pressure. See you, dude. Have some fun with your tutorials. Okay, let's grab this guy. Turn off X-ray. So I think I'm happy with that. I need to reduce the amount of polygons, but that's easy enough. I don't know if it's... I know I was sent a script at some point that does this, but I can't remember where it is. I'm pretty sure that, in fact, it might even be built into line, so I select every nth. Maybe is it bonus tool? I don't have bonus tools installed. Delete it as I go. Oh, you motherfucker. Okay, let's just collapse these guys. Smooth that. I guess we don't want to smooth it yet, right? Get the general volume right first. So, first thing to do is definitely deflate these guys. And it gets thicker towards the end, so let's do that. So let's give that a quick test run to see how it looks. It's massive. See, what I'm wondering as well is if we want to sell the miniature thing, am I going to add some like support stands, or do I just ignore the physicality of that stuff? I need to show the back wall. cam group. Grab this guy. Moving up to about here. Arnold render view. I'm just going to save actually. Arnold render view. It's a date full scene. Give this a moment to do its thing. Oh, I need to zoom in, I just realised how far out I am. No. What's the name of the material on this guy? Monster skin mat. Doing the fur as it comes out of the box is going to be an absolute fucking nightmare. I can see it coming already. Oh, I also need to slap some Arnold render settings on this guy. So what I'm going to need to do is, once I'm pretty happy with all of this, I'm going to need to start sculpting like the base. Well, I don't really need to sculpt it, I guess it's only really the head I need to do, but I do need to connect the head to everything else. Which I can probably get done today. I'd say. This is looking a lot more interesting though. What if we go to one of those more... Yeah, the scale of this thing is kind of interesting. The curve's a lot more appealing now. Looks appealing from a few different angles as well, which is promising. Once we get the hair on this thing, it'll look quite cool. Which you can probably block out the hair pretty soon for this guy, because he doesn't need to be rigged, he's already in pose. And arguably as well, I don't even need to connect the head can be its own like thing. Right, so I've got so many things I still need to do. It's so intimidating sometimes. Back a sec, a term that I thought I said came up more. Tessellating geometry. Tessellating is just smoothing. Well, kind of. Tessellating in Redshift is just smoothing. Tessellating in video games is like kind of triangulating and, well, it's in a way smoothing. It's just adding more geometry basically. When you tessellate something, you're adding more geometry. That can be for the purpose of displacement, or it can be for the purpose of just general smoothing. There's a ton of things that it could be. There we go. So we're going to need to close the holes on either side of this guy. Fill hole. I don't like the fact it's not like nice quads. Like, I prefer it to have a split across the middle. Apparently that's not doable, so. Cool. Just grab this guy, extrude, scale. There we go, solid mesh now. Okay, why did the guys say in my internship, not entirely sure, to be honest. I mean, it's probably one of those things where the word gets misused a lot. Like maybe I don't have the correct term for it, but I know it is adding more geometry to smoothing. You could, I think, strictly speaking, tessellation is triangulation as well. I'm not 100% sure on that though, probably wrong. Just edit edge flow on this guy. Cool. That's the body. We've got UVs for most of it, although we would have just wrecked them. Oh no, have I lost UVs? Oh, there we go. What's going on with you? Okay, so let's just grab all these faces. Mapping. Planar. Doesn't really matter how. And do the same down here. Unfold you, unfold you, and then let's just see what happens if we unfold this guy. Yeah, I thought as much. Alright, so we need to just unfold this on the V, then straighten it, I guess. Straighten UVs. That's doing a good enough job, I think. Yep, that's worked fine. Do I try to give it like a wormy look? I'll make it look really creepy. I mean, I'm going to be hiding it anyway, but I feel like I want to smooth it. Just quickly smooth that. Especially since XGen sees a smooth version of your mesh anyway. UV. Let's give this a quick go. Let's, I'm going to duplicate the material that's plugged into this guy. Because we've got the worm, the monster kind of body. So monster skin mat, let's duplicate that with network, edit, duplicate with network. This one can be monster body mat. We also need to get rid of the naming spaces. General, namespace. Name material, monster body. And all I want to do now is create a displacement. And we're not going to see it. I just kind of want to have it there just so I know it's there. Create a ramp. Texture. Let's do a set range. red channel. So old min, old max, there we go. And then this should be 0.5, negative 0.5. This ramp I want to be select position 0.5. Smooth. Actually, I'm going to need this to be exponential down, exponential up. Bump. That works. Then this is going to be mad on the tiling. I also need it to be a U ramp. So set U to a U ramp. And then let's just start a quick render from perspective. Cool. And then all we need to do now is select this guy and set repeat to 20. This is not what I expected at all. Does it need to be a V-ramp? Oh, it would need to be a V-ramp. I'm being an idiot. Yeah. There we go. Oh no. That is not what I wanted at all. Oh god. So let's set scale to 0.1 to make it a bit more reasonable looking. And then the ramp, let's just budge these like that. That needs some more tiling. So it's tiling V, let's go to 40. Let's go with 100. And then we're going to need to multiply this so it's thinner, less displacement where the worm is smaller. That's easy enough to do. Let's try 80. Okay, and then set the strength of this to be what I want for the large sections. 0.75. Cool, and then we just need to multiply this. So, mult. Ramp. So that needs to be set to 1. And this one needs to be set to whatever works visually. And I kind of boost that slightly. Cool. So now let's get some noise on this guy. Oh, it's a ramp, of course, it won't affect in that axis. Let's try 0.1 in this axis. Ooh, that's not what I want, but that's really kind of cool. 0.2, I guess. I mean, it's interesting. It's something. It's going to be covered in fur, but it's something, so it's not too boring back there. I guess we could molt this with another. Yeah, let's do that. So we're going to want a AI noise. So what I'm going to want to do is kill this render just while that thinks, or while I think. Okay, edit, duplicate, without network. Let's do a add. Nice plus minus average. Cool. And this is going to be a crazy looking noise when it's finished, obviously. So let's get that AI noise. Set you to be a much larger scale. Oh, that's actually way too big, right? So that's like, was it 1 then that should be for this? Oh yeah, there it is. This noise is really boring looking now. Let's go 0.25, 0.25, 0.25. That'll do. It's gonna get covered up anyway. Right, so, in fact, I'm kind of not liking it actually. Oh, it's also got that UV seam in the middle. Yeah, let's get rid of it. Oh, the UV seam is on that side. Fuck. Why? And it's easy to reverse, but why? Just delete this guy. Decided it's not worth it. So we need to fix UVs in this guy. Let's go to. No, why did I go to render settings? UV editor. What we're going to do is just cut this guy right down the middle. Cut. Go to UVs. Cool, and then go all the way to the bottom, and go all the way to the top, and move and so. So that will now have the UV seam on the back rather than the front. Cool. Yeah, there it is. That's the UV seam now. Can't be hidden the entire way apparently, but is there any edge that can hide the entire way? Well, that might be the best edge because that's never visible from the angle that we're mainly looking at. Maybe this one? No, not that one. Okay, so this guy. Let's cut that one. Cut. Then grab U all the way up to U. Moving so edges. There we go. Okay, so we're really gonna have to settle on something soon. This project's barely moved for a while now. Is it time to start posing the kid? It might be. Let's just do a quick. So I can always do more sculpting in pose and that sort of shit. I suppose it's time to actually start getting this guy in place. So first thing I'm going to do is match the box to the old temp I made. Probably won't have this in pose today, by the way, if anyone's wanting that to happen. It ain't going to happen. Not in one day. Because I need to rig it, and I haven't rigged in like 4 years now. But I do have a mesh that was like the position of the box. So let's do that first. Let's get our box group. Modify center pivot. That is not the center pivot. Oh yeah. Okay, I guess we'll just move that manually. No, I don't want to move you. I have to temporarily take this out of the box. I mean, why is that even in there, actually? Grab that guy. Why would I not want to grab that one? Oh yeah. I'm being picky again. There we go. Grab that out. And then this area light is inside the box, so that should stay there. And this one, what was you? That one shouldn't move either, so let's just get that out of there. Okay. So I guess now we can modify center pivot with no issue. Something like that. Looking cool. So then we can hide the temp box. Well, I can actually delete it now. So that would be like the final position of the box, although I probably want to tilt it back a little bit. Like that. Because the kid's carrying it, he's going to struggle to carry it otherwise. Let's move it forward slightly and hide you behind the box. Maybe even move it further forward. We will have to simulate the cloth being pushed out, but that's a quick enough thing to do. So, we need to start rigging the kid. Oh, the day has come. Fuck. So, hide everything except the kid. And let's just start by placing joints. Literally hide everything. I just want as simple as a scene as I can get. Hey Kosi, how you doing, man? Right, so I need to hide literally everything. Don't want him hidden now. Let's just create a lights group. LGT group. And I guess we should get the one from inside the box and put that in here too. And let's just quickly name these guys. So this guy is more of a rim, I guess, so he's not the key light. Well, I guess, alright, yeah, he's key light. This one, dome light is fine. Box, glow, LGT. Alright, that's going to be this guy as well. It's a box, face, glow, light, and this guy is box, glow, light. Cool. So I guess we can show him and hide you. Right. It has been years since I last did any of this, so do not judge any bad misjudgments, I guess. 1 second. There we go. So, I need to grab a drink in a sec as well. Rigging. Skeleton, create joints. We're going to start with the hips. And I'm going to go up the spine first. Let's just go up to there. So, be done. Finished rigging. Absolutely no more work to do. So, shading, X-ray joints. So your spine's all the way back here. And I want that to be, I need to set this, I can't select polygons. There we go. I also need to change the locator scale. Can't remember how to do it though. Oh, if I hold D I can move it without moving other joints. So where's the middle of the hips? That's the middle of the hips. Hey Francisco, how you doing, man? So we definitely don't want that level of shittery going on, so let's go for about there. See, I'm already doubting myself. This is my problem with rigging. Because technically I should match the exact bone positions, right? But at the same time it just doesn't feel right to do that. Channel box editor to translate X we want to be wait, why is, oh, it's because he's gonna have the, yeah, he's gonna have the Y. So let's set that to 0. I want all of them to be set to 0 actually on the translate X. Cool. So then we're gonna want clavicles, which we don't have a joint in the right position for. How can I set the size of the bones? Display. Skeleton, create joints. I can ignore it for now, but I'm sure there's a way to. It's been so long. Right, so let's. This one is. That one's going to be center of gravity. In fact, no. This one, we're naming joints here, so JMT. So I don't want to call it center of gravity because that's the name of the control. Clavicle needs to go slightly lower, so I'm going to move this to be. Just feeling my own shoulder right now. Yeah, it feels about right. So the width for these joints is really throwing my eye off, like quite a lot. I guess you need to go higher, don't you? You need to go to the base of the neck, which is like there. You need to actually reach the top of the neck, which is like there. So that means you need to go higher. And just for the sake of keeping this uniform, let's just, which one are you? Just duplicate you, I guess. Delete everything inside. Put that in there. Cool. Cool. So let's create our clavicle. So let's call this one spine 1. Copy that name. Spine 2. Spine 3. Spine 4. And that's going to be the end of our spine. Although we could call that one neck. Let's call that one neck joint. Neck. No. Head. Base. JNT. I could call these based on the actual anatomical names, but I don't see the point, to be honest. Head, top, JNT. And let's keep the naming consistent because that's going to really bother equal. There we go. So we need U, and we need to create a new arm. Pre-bend this a little bit. So I need to name these guys too. So do we need to create a joint in between these two? So this one is going to be L shoulder joint. This one would be L elbow joint. This one would be left wrist, L wrist joint. And obviously we need to get them in the right place. We can mirror them later. Obviously we have to worry about orienting them and all that shit as well. So let me just think. Does your arm pivot from the middle? It pivots from the top, doesn't it? Or it pivots from near the top. That just feels weird. But oh yeah, I need to not go for the middle of the clothing because that's not actually where his arm is. His arm's up there. Then you need to come a little bit forward. There we go. And between these two, I need another joint. So let's just put that in there. And we're going to call this one L clavicle, which is the most commonly broken bone in the body, and I have personally broken mine, so it's a fun bone to break. You can't use your arm for a while. I've still got the metal plates as well. That's always fun. Massive scar on my shoulder. I really want to change the size of the joints. Let me just quickly search how you do that. Maya, change joint size. Display animation joint size. Alright, that makes sense. Display animation joint size. Perfect. 0.5. Hey, there we go. Google is your friend. So, do I do fingers? I mean, I kind of need to, don't I? Although it's not exactly going to be the hardest thing to rig because it's literally wooden joints, so I don't need to worry about positioning stuff correctly. Let's start creating the left and right hip. So again, let's just go into that front view, skeleton, create joints. Let's just vaguely place it there. We've got literal joints to place here, so that's good. And let's go to the side view, go to roughly where his heel is. There we go. So we'll have to, sort some stuff out there. Do we need a joint at the ball of? I mean, it's not a joint, but I'm genuinely not sure. So you need to be pre-bent. That needs to be a hint forwards as well. And then I need to make sure that my knee joint is bent forward so that IKs work. I also need to relearn how to do an IKFK. Well, I don't need to do an IKFK, I just need to relearn how to do an IK switch. I don't even need to switch, what am I on about? I literally just need to learn how to do an IK again. Again, it's been like years since I last rigged anything. See, do I match that? I'm just worried that I don't have enough of a pre-bend. I mean, that's got enough of a pre-bend, that should be fine. I just need to quit on benching. Let's call this one L hip joint. And then I'm just going to copy that. L knee. And also get my Wacom out of the way. 1 second, guys. Just gonna grab a drink as well. Actually, I'll be back in a moment, guys. I'm back. Right. God, I do not miss rigging. It is a curse. People who do it are weird. I don't mean anything bad by that for people who actually rig, but I think you're weird as fuck. So that clavel is in way the wrong place, isn't it? Again, I need to kind of... sec. So the thing is, it doesn't pivot from the front. It's just, I do need it to be slightly towards the front, right? So it doesn't need to be on the clavicle bone itself, because it's not the angle of that bone that controls the rotation. Because it's the shoulder blade, and there's so many muscles that control the top of the shoulder. I wish I understood them all. Move that to there. Guess we should start on the hand, right? Which is simple enough. So let's just go. I mean, I'm gonna have to weight paint this guy, which is gonna be a bit of a nightmare. I'll have to sort out the orientation and joints as well. I really admire riggers, so brave. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, the thing is, some of the smartest people I know are riggers. Like, riggers are, like, ignore the pun because it's genuinely not intentional. I just don't know a better word, but they really are the backbone of a good studio. Because riggers just know how to get shit done. And they don't complain. They are just machine. Well, they do complain. But they don't complain the amount that I fucking would if I had to be a rigger. Like, maybe that just means I'm a little bitch, but I don't think so. So the thumb pivots from back there, so the first joint is fine. Although I don't know how you rig this joint. Like, do you create another joint right next to it? I think you do, actually. So let's duplicate that, but put it up here, drag you into it. Just move that back here. Because you can't just rotate the wrist to rotate the thumb. That's not how that works. Somewhere like that would be fine. Cool. Drag you. Cool. And drag you as well. And then where are you right now? I need to make these even smaller. Display animation, joint size, let's go to 0.25. How do I keep fucking this up? Like, it's not that hard. There we go. Got that eventually. Jesus. Right, so rotate this guy down a little bit. Technically, the joints at the end of the fingers aren't needed because you're not weight painting these. At least if you're just doing basic joint movement, like I'm sure for actual proper rigging, you may want to have a joint there. But like all the rotation of this part of the finger is controlled by him. So this joint, I mean, think of it in real terms. You don't actually have a joint at the end of your finger, so it's doing nothing. It's more of a kind of visual thing, I guess. I don't know if that's why people do it, but so let's duplicate you, and you can be a finger. Go something like that. I keep getting an error pop up, but it disappears before I can even begin to read it. There it is. Oh wait, more than one objects with the name. Yeah, of course. So these joints are too close to the surface. See, that's the thing that I always used to kind of struggle with getting right, is how do you position a joint correctly, because some bones are pretty close to the surface, like you got the kneecap for example. Well, the kneecap doesn't rotate from near the surface, but I guess we just need to pre-bend the knee for it to work. But I always like kind of, I mean, it's just a case of not knowing enough anatomy. Like, I don't know exact joint positions, which is a bit of a downfall, but cool. The thing is with making this rig is that it's going to get used to pose him once, and then it's never going to get used ever again in my life. I'm thinking of giving this character away though, because I've not used anything that I don't have a full license for. So I actually can like sell this character if I want to. Granted, I need to run it by the creator of the concept art. But yeah, could be interesting. I'm going to change the joint size again. Display, animation, joint size, let's go to 0.1. Cool, now let's get the pinky. Then we have to go for a name all these. Cool. And then I'm going to put you a bit closer to the surface. There we go. Right. Do I need any other joints? I don't think I do. I'm like fairly sure I don't need anything else. I just need to name everything now. So we've got L thumb 1. Well, one thing I do wonder as well sometimes is it better to do 1, 2, 3, 4 or A, B, C, D? I'm going with numbers in this case because I don't know any better, but if anyone happens to be a rigger in this chat, I'm sorry if I've offended you, but do you mind like imparting some wisdom? Because I don't think there's any riggers in this, because there's only 4 viewers and most people aren't riggers. Rigging is one of the like rarer skills as far as I'm aware. Index 2. Index 3. And index 4. Cool. Next one, and we can mirror everything over, I think. I don't think I need well, definitely don't need a jaw control. I don't think I want controls for anything else. Like the pockets and stuff, I can manually model those into what I want them to be. L, middle. 2, 3. I was right earlier, this is definitely going to be the most boring of all the videos. Like 100%. It's going to be bad. But I do these to motivate myself to work, not to make entertaining content. If I do entertain you, then I feel bad for you, I guess. Let's go with ring. There's probably a correct name for these, but I don't care. My mouth feels so dry. Cool, and then we just got little. I'm gonna go with pinky, because I don't want to call it L little. Three. Four. Cool. So, did we name all the way down? I don't think we did we? No, we didn't. L ankle. L toe? Or is that the ball of the foot? Let me just quickly search it. Ball of the foot. Okay, that is the ball of the foot. I thought so. I doubt myself a lot on this sort of stuff. So, elbow, joint, and L toe. And again, with it being at the end of the chain, it's not really going to do anything. I don't need individual toe controls because it's inside a shoe. And strictly speaking, it's solid feet anyway, so I don't think I'll even be using this one. But see, it's now when I realise that topology might need to change. This is going forward a bit too much. Although I guess if I line this up with the topo, it's going to minimise the issue. And let's get that. There's probably a way to like match a pivot with a joint, right? Cool. Was there anything else that I need? Well, don't you need a ton of... So if I want to do a twist, like an actual arm twist, I need quite a few joints here. But if I'm going to be simulating, we won't really see it. I think it's fine. So let's start mirroring joints over. So skeleton, mirror joint. Okay, skeleton, mirror joint. Search for L underscore, replace with R underscore, mirror across XY. XY is not what we want, is ZY or YZ. There we go. I'll do the same for you. Did it name them correctly? It potentially did. Good. So, does anything need to change? And this is going to be such an insanely simple kind of setup. Again, I definitely won't finish it tonight just because I'm not comfortable enough at rigging, but I don't need to do much good weight painting just because what's the word I'm looking for? Just because I'm going to be cloth simming on top of this. I am scared of the scarf, to be honest. Like, really quite terrified of if that's going to work or not. So I guess I should orient all my joints, right? So, skeleton, orient joint. Let's see if I can remember. So primary axis, I want primary to be... Oh god, which one is this? Can't remember which way around I want it. Let me just check. So Z will point forward. So are these working? That's not I mean, I can orient them all individually, but right, which one do I want to be forward? I think I want Z to be forward, X to be kind of. So what I want is for. Let me just select this guy, move the pivot over here. So what I want is for. Oh, let's move that over there. So I want Z to be this, and X to be this, and then obviously Y doesn't have a function. It's just, you know, Y should go along the bone. So let's go skeleton, orient joint, primary axis. So I want primary axis to be Z, right? Secondary axis. Let's set you to be component. No, gimbal. So that one hasn't worked. But this one looks like it has. Although Y is along the joint. Is it the same down here? So Y, yeah, Y is the, that's not what I want. How do you do this? Skeleton, orient joint. So I guess I want primary axis to be Y. Let's see now. So Z is doing what I want, but now X is side. But I guess I could live with Y being that way. It gets confused at the wrist. Okay. Let's do it one thing at a time. So I want Y to always be going along the bone. So let's do Y is going along, Z is doing what I want. I want X to be going along the bone. Okay, so well, I guess I should do the same on this side. So let's go. I just need to remember like how it does it. So point down the bone, and then what's this one? It specifies the next most important joint orientation. So let's go with X. Z, Y is still doing its thing. Y, Z. So it changes to X on this one. So I don't want that, do I? So it needs to be at least somewhat consistent. So Z should always be the direction I want it to actually change in. So let's go with these guys. I'm guessing it's the same on there. Yep, okay. So I want X to go along the bone down here. Let's check you. Okay, so it's literally just these ones that I want that for. So let's go skeleton. I need to just dock this. Orient joint. Back. I don't need to dock that. So primary axis is that one, and then let's check that. So I want Z is that, X is that. Okay, cool, that's working. And then this is still working. Cool. So next is this guy. Are you working? So Y is doing that, that's good. Z. Yep. Cool. that joint is too high, so let's just move that down. And then I guess you should not go that high. Cool, so I would want this to be, yeah, that's the correct axis, and that's fine, that's the correct axis. It's all working until it gets to here. This guy gets fucked, and by result these guys get fucked too. Although this guy's doing just fine. So let's just quickly orient all these guys. Do the same on the other side. Cool. Skeleton, orient joint. So, oh, actually I don't want that, I want this. So primary axis as Y, secondary axis was X, apply. Joint has non-zero rotations. Can you freeze transformations on these guys? So now you can't freeze translates. That breaks the bones. How do you freeze just rotations? Maya freeze rotations. Okay, so modify reset transformations. I don't know if that will work. Modify. Oh, I can just go in freeze options. Alright, so let's not. There we go. Yeah, because this is the length of the bone and this is the distance. So if I was to set this to 0, it moves the actual joint. I don't want that, I just want the rotations to be 0. I also didn't know that free transformations have that feature. I mean, it makes sense that it does, but... Cool. Windows... no. Skeleton, orient joint. Apply. Z is the axis I want, Y is the twist, cool. Let's just try you. Yes, this one gets confused. Is it possible for me to change that on my own? I can, alright, so let's just manually orient that for now. Although I may want to re-mirror my joints for that. Cool. So I think that's everything working now. Z is always going to be the main axis. So let's just quickly delete this guy and mirror you, skeleton, mirror joints. And let's just super quickly check that this guy is working. He's not working. Nice one. Oh. Wait, why was that upside down? Does it not mirror orientations correctly? Delete that. Skeleton, mirror joints. You are not working. Okay. There has to be a correct way to like mirror orientations, right? I mean, it's not too big of a deal in this case, but it'd be nice. Okay, let's just go orient joints. So why are you doing this? So why is my gimbal fucked? Oh, it wasn't. So in this case I want that, right? And then in your case, because you won't orient correctly, I just need to do this manually. So you're broken again. Not in the right place either. Wait, is this hand not symmetrical? Or is this just off center? I set to -0. So I may have just now found out my mesh isn't actually symmetrical. Unless I'm just really dumb. No, that's definitely worrying. Okay, well for now I don't care enough. So let's just move this guy like that. Yeah, this isn't the same on each side. I'm slightly worried that that's not symmetrical, but it doesn't matter that much, because topology should still be symmetrical. This is already a bad rig though. I can tell already there's something broken under the hood at such an early stage. So we got all those done. Then I guess we need to start making controls. My favorite. Okay, so we need a create nubs circle. Cool. And we're just going to group these. Rig group. And I'll group these later. For now, this is the global CTRL. I don't know what's going on there. That's lagging behind. So you can snap it to joints, right? What's the shortcut to snap to joint? Snap to joint Maya. Hold W. Press W then. Yeah, it just snaps it to vertices. What are you on about, mate? Okay, well for now, I'll just move it into place manually. Although it's really, this bug is going to bother me, so let me just quickly exit Maya and get back in. I was just going to save an alt version of the scene. Cool. Right, so I should try into Jesus. Modeling. I should probably break this into its own scenes now, but I think modeling kind of always ends up becoming my kind of build scene and this sort of stuff. Still haven't set all my maps to aces. Ah! I just whacked myself on the tooth for glass. God, that hurt. There we go, that's better. I guess we can hide the geo, right? No. Now will this work? Oh, it's just because there was other stuff in the way. Alright, cool. So, duplicate you. Cool. Duplicate you. I don't need fancy controls. Oh god, that's horrible. Cool. Again, this is not how you do rigs properly. I'm just doing something to work with. This is not standard at all, so do not look at this and think, oh, this is how they do it. Because that would be terribly misleading, and I don't want it to result in a few people being bad riggers. I don't want to be that guy. Get you over there, snap you there. Honestly, it's been so long that I can't even remember how to connect controllers. So I don't just want to parent constraint stuff. That's not really how it should work as far as I remember. In fact, why did I do that? Let's get you. Show the render group. Perfect. Right, okay, so we're going to need to massively change some of these. Obviously, it'll be actually like kind of moving them around later, but can I even see? Yeah, there it is. Cool, and then these guys need to be far bigger. Cool. Let's get to the net control. Where you at though? There you are. Have I mentioned that I can't rig yet? There we go. So, global control, and that will be center of gravity control, L hip, CTRL, R hip, CTRL. Oh. What the fuck? Okay. R hip, CTRL, L knee, CTRL, L foot, CTRL, R foot, CTRL, R knee, CTRL. Then it's what? Spine 1, spine 2, spine 3. Spine 1, CTRL. Spine 2, CTRL. Spine, Jesus, 3, CTRL. L, shoulder, CTRL. L, elbow, CTRL. L, wrist, CTRL. What do these do? L neck and L head. Oh no, not L. Neck, CTRL. And then let's go with head, CTRL. So I need to make a clavicle. I need to make a clavicle control. So let's go and do that. I'm just going to grab one of these guys. And I think the easiest way visually for this to work because the control doesn't have to be physically where the joint is, as long as its pivot is on the joint. Fuck you. So let's just do this. Something like that will do. So let's hide the render geo, show the skeleton, and then you can be the clavicle control. So this can be L clavicle CTRL. And then I kind of want to customize the shape of these guys as well. So I guess this should be a different shape as well because it's a bit hard to read. So let's go with what am I doing right now? Going to you, and I need to show the render geo. So let's just flatten you down. Cool. Get that over foot control 1, so I can delete foot control, and just temporarily group that, set that to -1 scale, modify, free transformations, and jump that out. There we go. Foot control. Let's hide you. Make sure that's in the right place. It is. Nice. Then I need to get all these guys. You alright?
Laughing at that video, there was like it's like what have you seen on or like babysitters, like what an Adam Ham's maybe for a babysitter.
Yep.
And this girl was like it was like, oh, whenever I was younger, this happened to me, like whenever we were younger, the mum was suspicious that the babysitter was stealing the silverware.
Yep.
And so they were like, she put a camera in, and she was like, she was in fact stealing the silverware, but it was overshadowed by the fact that she was also fucking my dad.
Oh shit.
And then it was really funny because the comment from Reddit was like, if porn has taught me anything, your dad was punishing her for stealing the silverware.
Fuck's sake.
I thought that was so funny.
If porn has taught me anything, that's such a terrible sentence.
Porn has taught me anything.
I'm going to do the hands, aren't I? Oh.
Why are you stealing the silverware?
Step brother.
Step brother, not brother.
Brother. Alright.
Remind me to hang out the washing.
Hang out the washing.
Oh my god.
Right, so let's get you.
Why do you keep moving this over here?
Moving what? Oh, it's just out of the way of the door so I can actually get to the door.
You need it. If we get a place, you can get a basket for all your fucking wires.
I mean, if we get a place. We know we are now. What's that?
When?
Yeet. We have been given the permissions. I feel like there's a much better way to do the fingers.
How did your suite go?
I couldn't get it to work.
Aww.
So I'm gonna post on the Marvelous Designer forums and be like, yo, how the fuck do you guys do this type of effect without it intersetting for itself? Because it is literally, it is probably just a checkbox or a setting somewhere that needs to turn up. But obviously I don't know that checkbox or setting.
I tried to work on my weird BB thing, and our servers are on.
Oh, really?
I'm working on the work server, so it's like, fuck. So I'm sculpting on my non-serve, like on my own PC, and then sending my maps to my work PC. So I need to Redshift.
See, before I did this, I probably should have looked into rigs and see how people like to build their controls. Because the way I did this years ago, when I really I mean, I don't know what I'm doing now, but I have at least some vague idea more than I used to. I used to just create a hand-shaped controller that had attributes for the rotations of these, but that's just such an unfriendly way to work. So that can be the joint for the beginning of every finger, or the control for the beginning of every finger. And technically, you don't even need controls, because it's going to be such a simple fucking setup that I could literally just move the joints. But I feel like I'll have an easier time posing it if I build some basic controls. And it's probably worth trying to relearn how to do this stuff, because it's been a while.
Did you realize Sorcia's actually never met you before, by the way?
Who?
Sorcia.
Yeah. Didn't you know?
No, I'm sure you know Sorcia.
Yeah, she used to work with Andrew. Why do riggers do this to themselves?
Let's play a game of Is This Going to Render? Maya hasn't crashed my machine, so I'm not taking a good thing.
What, sorry?
Maya hasn't crashed it. Everyone else seems to be having issues, it's just Maya is stopping.
I've had issues like that recently of just everything closing, which is slightly annoying. Not going to lie.
The architecture's not from the other way.
You're speaking really quietly and there's a washing machine behind you. What was you saying?
I'm not speaking myself.
Oh, okay. I was like, there's no chance of me hearing you right now, like. check that against the geo. And then let's turn off X-ray joints. Yep, and these guys. I'm trying to make it so that the z-axis of these vaguely lines up with where I want it to go. Which in this case is that way. Cool. So let's hide you and hide you. Let's Control 2. Let's get that. Cool. Wait, which one are you? You're 3. Obviously I can name these, but I just want to get them vaguely organized first. This one's 4. I'm guessing this one's 5. Cool, that one's 5. And then you two go there. Cool. Alright, so we've got left clavicle. Let's get the spine going. So in this case we can just drag them in. Spine 3. Then spine 3 is where the clavicle attaches. So let's get the clavicle, put that into spine. Wait, spine 2. Leave that alone for a sec. Oh yeah, of course. Fine, free. Cool. Then we need to. I'm gonna name all these guys. L Pinky 1 CTRL, L Pinky 2, and L Pinky 3. And you are L ring CTRL. Oh, L ring 1. To move this glass out of the way, I can see myself punching it off the desk. L ring 3. Probably could have just used human IK, couldn't I? L middle 1 CTRL. Cool. L index 1 CTRL. L index 2. L index 3, and then this one is L thumb. L thumb 1 CTRL. L thumb 2. L thumb 3. Cool. Get the clavicle. Duplicate it. Let's group it for a moment and mirror that across X. It's very slightly different, and that worries me a little bit. Modify free transformations. Right, so I just need to grab this entire group. So let's just get these guys. Search replace, modify, search and replace names. There it is. LFR. Right, so what's the next thing to do? We need to get our legs. Let's get spine connected to center of gravity, which is connected to global. Cool, and then L hip needs to go into there. We need to go to there. L foot needs to go there. Alright. There. I haven't done ball of the foot yet, but let's just drag that in. And then, what did I just do? There we go. Oh, eventually. Drag you in there, drag you in there, and drag you in there. And final thing, let's find our spine. Cool. So we've got a generally posable thing now. We just need to make it pretty. What was the other thing I need to do? I need to add a control for the ball of the foot. So let's show the skeleton for a moment. Grab you. This is the annoying thing once you get to this stage. show the geo. Cool. And that is our left bowl control. Cool. So let's just delete that guy, group this guy, duplicate the group, and set this to -1. Then solo this group, do that, modify search and replace. Cool. Now we can just ungroup these. Was already done, so I don't know why that was confused. That was the first voice crack in a really long time. Right, net control. You need to be adjusted. You're also not centered. What's that?
Are you rigging?
Yep. It is a pain. I will give it that. Been a while since I rigged anything. Granted, I've very much got an attitude of doesn't need to be perfect, but modify, send pivot, set U to 0. Yeah, this arm isn't in the right place. Let's just quickly grab my hands. Let's duplicate that and set that to -1. But apparently it is symmetrical. So I don't know why that's kicking up a fuss. Unless my whole rig is slightly off center. That'd be slightly concerning. Modify center pivot. Set U to 0. No. Is the first joint off center? Set U to 0. No. U off center? Oh, he was off center. Okay. Does that mean all my joints just moved? Does, doesn't it? Okay. Was it just him that ended up off center? Yeah, it was. Okay. It's not a big deal. It's just the fingers where it will have an effect. Shading, X-ray joints. I might even get away with it. Not here though. Let's just move that down here. But actually, let's move that as a whole. These guys will get away with it a bit. Let's just tweak them. and we'll have to get all the pivots back on the joints. Let's delete U onwards. Mirror these joints. Rigging, skeleton, mirror joints. Check if that's named incorrectly. It has. Good. Are they now in the right place? They are. Good. So that's what it was all along. Alright, so let's just snap you to there. Snap you to there. We will need to hide that mesh. So we could just do parent constraints for everything. So let's get all the controls solo that way. Modify for each transformations. Check if the set that to gimbal. Set it to object. Right, okay. Cool. Right. Let's just do a quick test. Let's grab U, parent, U, control, no, constrain, parent, and see which way around it was. There we go. Wave painting is a bit that I'm not looking forward to. It can be pretty relaxing. I need to download NG skin tools because it's just better. I'm pretty sure it's free if I remember correctly. We had it in my uni. I know that much. Right, so grab U and U. Cool. Grab U, then U. This is why scripts exist. So all you'd have to do really is search for the name of the control and search for the name of the joint that's associated. And because I named them the same, that would be quite easy to do. So you'd have a script to kind of set that up for you, like automatically parent all these. This probably also is quite easy to script the orientation of the controls to match the joint orientations. Cool. Hide him. Modify free transformations. Why won't you freeze your transforms? Oh, right. Because I turned off modify free transformations. View, constrain parent. Grab you, make sure your pivot is on the right place. Then same with you. Constrain parent. And you are already in control. So I just need to set up an IK for the legs and I can start weight painting. Although an IK for the hands could be helpful because he's holding something. Let's see if I can find how to do an IK quickly because it's already 10 to 11. My IK handle. Don't need to watch it. Don't need the full setup.
I posted the baby.
What, sorry?
I posted the baby.
You posted it? Nice. I'm glad that you posted it. Do you want me to show it or?
Someone is commenting on it already, and I'm like, who?
Who Tifa? Like a handle tool.
Someone is typing a comment.
Let's see if I can just do it off the top of my head. So I'm gonna guess you select this, then select the thing you want to IK.
Did you see it?
I haven't looked now. Maybe give me a moment. Let me just save. Skeleton, create IK handle. Cool. Nice. The knee can't move. Do I need to get rid of you? Okay, I'm gonna have to Google it, like, out of time. Because I think I'll end the stream at this point. Because to be fair, I've built like a whole fucking skeleton and control system. I just need to do IKs, which I can probably just do off stream because it's easy enough to do. It's just a case of finding a tutorial. Because it has been a long time since I rigged. Surprised I got this far, to be honest. Let's show you. Guess we can very quickly throw some colors onto this stuff. Display. It's not outline color I want. How do you color a curve? It's a drawing overrides, enable overrides, color, RGB. Well, I guess we could just use index. Let's go for yellow. Then I guess the foot controllers are going to want to be something different, aren't they? I guess actually anything that's left should have a different color. Let's do not vibrant enough red for my taste. There we go. And you, oh, you're going to override everything below you, aren't you? Let's just do a quick test. Oh no, cool. So let's just set you to, let's just go to white. Cool, right. Well, I'm going to end the stream, guys, just because I've been working at this now for a little while. Next stream will be on Saturday as usual. I may have set up the IK by then. We'll probably just be weight painting, so prepare yourselves for an absolutely exciting fucking live stream of weight painting and then complaining about weight painting. But yeah, I hope you guys have maybe learned something here or there. I know I haven't. And see you on Saturday. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Bye-bye.